Oh, hello, Joe.
Hello.
Welcome to the Connection Couch, where we are all about helping you grow your business using connection and what was the other thing?
Conversation.
That's what it was, using LinkedIn video, that kind of stuff. So remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're told of every time we upload some awesome content to help you.
Yes. And today, the episode is all about your goals for LinkedIn. What goals to set around audience, about engagement and lead generation. So let's get started.
Right, goals for 2020 and LinkedIn. So how are you going to leverage LinkedIn this year? So before we go any further, put a comment in the comment section below and tell us exactly what you're going to be doing, whether it's the same as last year or if you're going to be employing new tactics. So, Jer,
Yes.
plans for this year for LinkedIn, and we're covering in three areas here, aren't we? So
Yep.
it's audience, so how to grow the audience, grow your audience.
Not how to grow them,
No,
but how to
sorry.
how to
Yes.
measure them.
Yeah, that's right. And the second one is, honestly, my head's like a sieve.
Engagement.
It is engagement, and then the last one is lead generation. So
That's right.
the floor is yours.
Yes. So the first goal you can set is around audience, and that's probably the most obvious one that people focus on. You know, how many connections or followers you've got.
Okay, is it important?
Well, yes, it is important, but it's not the be all and end all, because it's about having the right audience who are going to engage with you. So I'll mention, obviously, engagement is what we're talking about next, but if you've got the wrong audience, if you're focusing on having 30,000 connections, which happens to be the maximum, you might have the wrong people. So they're not going to engage with you and they're not going to see you. So, you know, it doesn't really work.
Okay, I'm going to throw a little curveball in. We did a video before, so check up here for that video, about connection requests. Do you just blatantly accept everybody, or are you a bit more strategic? Because then that plays into your audience, having the right audience. If you have a blanket approach of accepting everybody into your network, how do you have the right audience?
That's a good question, Reg.
Is that a question for another episode?
Well, we can touch on it now, because
now.
it's about understanding who your ideal client is, who your ideal connection is, depending on if you're in business or, if you're growing, your reason for being on LinkedIn. Most people are on LinkedIn to sell something, but we don't sell on LinkedIn, and we'll come to that, how lead generation works. But if you've got if you've said yes to people that aren't your ideal clients or don't know your ideal clients, then why are you connecting to them? So you might be asking, well, Bob the butcher in Belgium, why are you connecting to him? But then he might be ex-Perth and he might have changed careers, and he might have a network from his previous that still engage with him. So it's looking beyond the front of the profile, but it's having some strategies around and ideas around who are these people, and what do they do.
Okay. All right.
So you've got audience, like I said, you've got connections and followers. So and just to briefly, we have done episodes, so we'll put the link up the top. But connections are people you said yes to. It's a two-way relationship. Followers, it's a one-way relationship. They've subscribed to you. You can't interact privately. Sorry, you can publicly. But so they're the things to think about in terms of your audience. You've also got profile views is another metric people focus on. That's a signal that people may be interested, which is part of that lead generation process. But it doesn't necessarily mean that. If someone's accidentally, clicked.
So a little thing that I believe people don't quite understand regarding LinkedIn and lead generation, and let me know in the comments below if you think I'm right or way wrong. But when it comes to a lead isn't necessarily someone who's feverishly want to buy your product and looking for someone to buy it from. A lead is someone who might just engage with your content because down the road they might want to engage your services.
Spot on, Reg. So I'd be interested in your comments as well. But so we're going to I'm going to jump into leads. Because it kind of
skipping engagement.
Actually, it's interactive with.
Okay.
It's all together. So if we talk about engagement on LinkedIn, engagement is people that are people commenting on your stuff or liking your stuff essentially, or sharing your stuff. They are leads. Anybody is a lead. A lead is someone who's interested in what you have to say. They might be down the track interested in buying from you, but they're probably not right now. They're not ready, because there's a whole the lead process, and it could be this short depending on your need, or it could be this long depending on what kind of service you have and what kind of need they have. But you want to be building a relationship with them. Now that comes from engagement. So if you're not engaging with people on LinkedIn, then you're not building a relationship with them. So if you're thinking goals, if your goals are around, people engaging with you, well, obviously you need to be engaging for people to engage with you. But if you're not putting content out there, how can they engage with you? So that's the number one thing you need to think about. What's your content strategy? We've got another episode coming about that, so watch out for that one. But I'd love to know, how often are you sharing content right now, and what's your plan for this year? Because that's going to help people engage with you publicly. Now, you've got public engagement and private engagement, and we haven't mentioned our bonus tip. So if you're here now, we've got a bonus tip for you. So hang on to the end, because we're going to share some tips for how you can get people to engage with you and how you can engage with them.
Headless Swiss cheese, honestly.
I know Reg was going to share that earlier, but we thought we'd just hang on and reward the people still watching.
Exactly right. We're rewarding those die-hard people who really want to get to the bottom.
That's right. So you've got public and private engagement, and they both are really important because you want to be building a relationship with people. So engagement metrics, you can be measuring number of comments, number of likes and reactions, which are similar. And then, of course, you've got shares. So it depends on what you're focusing on. So you could be focusing on how many people like or react to your content, but that's sort of the easy stuff, isn't it?
You're right. I think it's very much a vanity. Like, it doesn't. I don't think it really does anything for anybody.
Other than, and you'll notice this in the home feed, sometimes I'll see something, I'll say, Reg liked this, and I can see the content. I'm seeing it because you've liked it.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's no context, and that's why I always say commenting has the highest value. It's got the highest, I suppose, priority in terms of the different activities. So you've got commenting, you've got sharing, and you've got liking and mentioning. Reacting, not mentioning.
That's the celebration and the love and all
that
kind of stuff,
and that's the easy stuff, and it's the less scary to do if you haven't found your voice yet and you don't know what to say. You're putting yourself out there. Commenting is probably the scariest because now you're actually putting your thoughts to someone's content, but it's got the biggest return because now I understand what you think or what you actually do. Well, when you comment, you don't want to be selling your stuff. So if I shared a post and Reg, you commented and said, "Well, I've got a product for you," that's not going to cut it. That's jumping into the sale.
Yeah.
So in that lead generation process, you've just gone, whoa, too soon. But if you comment with something or ask a question, as you would in a normal conversation with someone you're not selling to. So that's engagement. Now, and it does connect into lead generation because lead generation is something else you can measure. But it's not just how many people have you sold to on LinkedIn. That's what you're aiming for, but that's the end. That's the end. Well, not end, but that's the end game in terms of the sales process. Because then you've got nurturing as well. But it's getting people to understand their need, that they have a need that you can fulfill, and you are the right person for them. And they're only going to do that if they see your content often enough and they're building a relationship with you.
It's no like and trust thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So should we get to that bonus tip?
Let's do the bonus tip now, yes.
Yes, so bonus tip for engagement, which is going to help you with lead generation. Now, this is a private engagement tip. So we've talked about commenting on people's posts, but you can also message people. Now, one thing that people do, and I see this so often, is they message people and try to sell them something.
Straight away, by the way.
And we have had an episode about that.
And I even showed Joe today, I had a request from a rather random lady from a foreign country asking me to do a 15-minute anonymous survey.
Like, why? Now, that's not selling a product, but you're selling, it is, because she wants your time.
She wants a favour from me.
And why would you do an anonymous survey when you've got no relationship with the person? So, yeah, just
Very
wrong
strange.
strategy.
Yeah.
So, one of the things you could do with messaging is, so you've just, and this is only going to apply to people you've connected to, because if you're not connected, you can't message someone unless they've got premium or whatever. But we're talking about next level relationship building. So if I've just connected to Reg, we've done the exception.
Yeah.
Acceptance. I'll get my words out.
We have accepted the connection request.
Acceptance process, yeah. What's next? And this is where people get confused. They either do nothing or they try and sell. And we're not going to sell. I'm not going to sell Reg my services. But what I could do is send him a sort of what I call my welcome message. Now, you can do a text message. That's easy to do. But why not use video?
Why not use video? That's a great idea.
Now, if you don't know how to do video, Reg has a whole range of tips and tricks and whatever through some of our videos and his own stuff. But if you use LinkedIn, so you go to the LinkedIn app. So I'm on Reg's profile right now and follow along and do this. So I go to message because we're connected. And then I click on the little plus icon, and I can send a video here. That's probably the most obvious thing to do. But clicking the video icon is going to allow you to record a video. So a bit of a selfie video, obviously put it in selfie mode, put your phone up. Hi, Reg, how you going? Blah, blah, blah. Send the video. Instant, quick. But you're taking, in the moment, whatever your microphone setup is, if you're using your phone, it might be windy, it might be indoors, outdoors, all those sorts of things. So if you want to take it up a notch, rather than, before you get onto LinkedIn, record the message. And then you store it in your phone, so in your camera roll. I'm talking iPhone here, so whatever it works on Android. I record my little video, and maybe I've done a bit of editing as well. I might put something at the end, but make sure it's framed up right. You've taken time to use a tripod for stability and all that. I'm preaching to converted here, aren't I, Reg? Actually, Reg, why don't you take over on this bit? This is what you're doing.
No, you've covered it.
I've done Reg's workshops, you can see. I was listening. Tripod, and the number one thing, I know this, Reg, sound. Make sure you've got a good sound. I mean, you might get away with just your microphone and your camera in your phone if you're in a really good environment.
It's conducive, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but otherwise just plug in your headset and do that. So you've taken it up a slight notch. Now what you then do is on the phone, click on photo. Now it sounds a bit weird, like I'm not sending a photo, I'm sending a video. But when you click photo, it takes you to your camera roll, which includes video, Reg.
Yeah, see, that's a top tip, I didn't know that.
Yes, and then I can find the video and send it. Now, unfortunately, this is iPhone I'm talking about now. I mean, Androids, I'm not sure. It just says recent, so it's in order of recency.
This is your camera roll?
Yeah, so you can't go to your folders. Like I like to organise all my images and video. I can't go to my video at the moment.
So you can't navigate to a folder?
No, so it needs to be fairly recent that you've done this. Right. So you could create a video and repurpose it. You might create a video and send it to a whole heap of people because it sounds personable. So I wouldn't say hi Reg in the video, obviously, unless I'm sending it to all the Regs in my network.
Well, yes. Look, this is another video itself, but personalised videos work really well.
Yeah.
And there are ways to shoot personalised videos in mass.
Okay.
But
for another episode there, yeah. So yeah, just creating a process so you're introducing yourself. Obviously the video doesn't want to be too long if it's a quick intro because people you don't know where they're watching it and you want to be able to connect. And you can say a lot more in video than you can in words and you can communicate so much more.
On so many more levels.
Absolutely.
Tone of voice, micro expressions,
blah,
blah, blah, blah.
So that's a nice way to engage. So you're not selling in this video either. You're not saying buy my stuff or anything like that. You're having a conversation because then if they watch it, which they should do, depending on the environment, they might create a video back that they weren't thinking of doing. So you might have then triggered them to do something. Or maybe they'll send you a text message back.
But ask you how you did it.
Yeah, and then you can tell them how clever you are. But it's a nice way to kind of start that conversation going. Plus you're connected, so you've got a content strategy and an engagement strategy publicly. So they're going to see your content in their home feed. Plus they're engaging privately now. So in terms of that lead, you're taking on a journey with you. So they're more likely to buy your stuff when they're ready to buy it.
Exactly. Wow, we've covered a lot.
We have.
That's been pretty good.
Yes.
All right, so today we talked about goals for LinkedIn.
Yes.
And then having those goals based around 3 criteria or 3 elements, which is your audience, your engagement, and your lead generation.
I'm glad you were listening, Reg.
Okay, and we had a bonus tip, which is how to up the ante when it comes to engagement using video messages. So thanks for that bonus tip, Joe. That's really good. Right, well, we have lots of other videos that you can watch as all around creating awesome content and how to get the most out of the LinkedIn platform. So I would suggest, Joe, that they should maybe subscribe. Would you concur?
I would concur with that suggestion.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So hit the notification bell as well and make sure it's all, because having all notifications really does help us a channel and it really does help us grow. So we are trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can then lift the content a little bit and lift what we want to do with the channel. So thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And goodbye from me. See you next week.
And it's goodbye from him.